So I listened to your podcast called Eren Did Nothing Wrong. And it was right around the time that I found out about Itachi. And I just had been thinking about some stuff that I wanted to come on and say.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I know it's not exactly the same situation, but it's fairly similar where Eren loves his friends, right? He tells them, like, I care about you guys more than anyone. And so he chooses to protect his family, like his friends and the people that he loves over literally everyone else in the whole world. When he starts the rumbling, he kills a lot of the people that he grew up with and that he knows, like, from his island. But he chooses to protect those few people that he, like, really, really loves over everybody else in the whole entire world. And Itachi, yes, he may have loved some people in the Leaf Village, but, like, his family, his parents, his aunt and uncles, like, everybody that he loves and knows is from the Uchiha clan. And he makes the exact opposite decision from Eren. And he chooses to kill everyone that he knows in order to protect everybody else in the world, right? In order to avoid war and bloodshed, even though he kills everyone, so that's a lot of bloodshed. But he makes the total opposite decision. And I'm confused as to how you guys justify both Eren and Itachi's decision, because they make totally different ones, and yet you support them both.
Well, he makes the same decision. Itachi chooses, the Uchiha are literally, like, declaring war on the Leaf Village.
Yes.
Like the Marleyans are on the Eldians of the island. And they both decide to protect the people that are having war declared on them. Itachi still loved the Leaf Village. He went out, he was like a member of the military. He served to protect the Leaf Village. But Itachi was part of the Anbu. It's not like he was only part of the police force that the Uchiha were in charge of.
It's not exactly the same.
Well, no, but it is like that they make the same choice. Itachi chooses to protect the village. He loved everyone in the Leaf Village. Okay, he spent his whole life protecting them. Just because he had family as part of the Leaf Village, they were coming to declare war on everyone else.
The difference in my head was the Eldians and the Uchiha were both being persecuted.
For me, the biggest difference in what Eren and Itachi were faced with is the fact that Itachi was also protecting a philosophy, which was the Will of Fire, which was the Leaf Village, right? Like the structure of the Leaf Village, where people from every clan could come and live harmoniously together. It was like a place where people, like children, wouldn't have to be at war. They were still going to learn ninjutsu and be strong and capable, but they weren't going to have to be killing each other needlessly, like wars had been throughout history. So the Leaf Village is a philosophy that Itachi is defending. And I think Itachi fully embraced the Will of Fire. And I think with Eren, it's different because the philosophy that he is protecting is basically just the philosophy that his people should be able to live freely. And that's more like the Will of Fire. And everybody outside of that is still at war. Like the entire world is like fighting. And the whole world outside is also kind of uniting to come against the island. And that would not allow for his people that he loves to live freely, which is the same thing that Itachi's kind of defending.
Right. No, I understand. And I see that there's differences. You're sacrificing the few for the many. Like, if all the Eldians died, the world wouldn't have a reason to unite against the Eldians. Yes, they would still be in war. But it's not like the Leaf Village is never going to have war ever again either. They've been having war. Jiraiya was in a war. Tsunade was in a war. Like, it's not like there hasn't been war recently. You know
That's
what I mean?
true, but the wars were between the Leaf Village and other villages. What Itachi was
but
protecting it against was like a civil war, like a breakdown of the Leaf Village.
But like they say, everyone would have gotten involved. Like, he chose to
kill
the Uchiha because it would have become the Ninja World War. Or
yeah, you're right about that.
Right, so he was choosing it over everyone in the world. Like, yes, he was protecting the Leaf, but he still chose to kill the few to protect the many. And Eren chose the opposite. And I understand what you're saying, I think it's similar.
I think if Eren's people were the majority, he still would have killed the few to protect the many. It was just about the philosophy.
I feel like it was just about the people that he loved.
But no, because here's another thing. Eren, it wasn't just about the people he grew up with either. Because he went and lived with the Marleyans, and he saw how, even though the Eldians are also technically his people, the Eldians in Marley are not technically the people from the island. And he still wants to protect them. They didn't grow up with him, but he didn't want Reiner to die. There were so many times that he protects or just doesn't kill Reiner. And then later, he, like, wants him to be happy. He, like, tells him later Like, that you're not going to be, that he's not going to be a Titan anymore, and that he's, like, free to live his life. He talks to Annie. He talks to the cart Titan. What's her name? I forgot her name.
Pika.
He talks to Pika, the cart Titan, and literally talks to her, too, about having, like, a happy life. He doesn't know her very well, but he wants everyone to just be at peace. It's not necessarily about murdering everyone. And I think if there was a different solution that he could have done, rather than having the whole world come and try to kill everyone, that was the only solution that he could come up with. But he was trying to save other people from also still going through that. He still cared about those people.
But he still chose, like, there would have been less bloodshed if he had just, all the Eldians died, versus killing everybody else. Like, he chose the few over the many, and Itachi chose the many over the few. I'm just saying they chose opposite in a similar situation, not exactly the same situation. I understand what you're saying.
I think they chose the same still, though.
I see the differences.
And I see the similarities.
Okay, one more thing I have to say really fast. The other difference is Eren's people were not threatening war against anyone, and Itachi's people were. So, like, the people that he killed that were, like, his loved ones were the ones inciting violence in that case. Even though you could argue that they had violence done to them by the persecution and all that stuff.
Right, there was violence in both, like...
For sure.
From the Marleyans' point of view, the Eldians really were, like, violent people. They were the devils. That's what they had been taught. That's what they knew. Like, they didn't know any better.
They did the same thing. They, like, took the Titans and put them on other people and inflicted the same stuff on other people that they feel like were inflicted on them.
Yeah, no, I see how it's different. I see. You guys have brought light to my eyes.
I think it's an interesting question, though. I'm glad that you brought it up.
I still think it's similar.
I honestly think it comes down to the will of fire, the philosophy of the Leaf Village. And then the reason I can understand that Eren made the right choice is because his people were the peaceful ones, and he knew both sides. So they were both choosing the philosophical correctness and also protecting the people they loved through that process.
When in the 4th season, when it shows the perspective of Reiner, I, like, really related to Reiner. And I thought it was really interesting about how, like, you believe what you're taught, and whatever you are told, and, like, the society that's shaped for you is your reality. And to Reiner, like, the island people were devils. And so to the average Marleyan, and even the other Eldians on, like, outside of the island, they really, like, truly believed. They weren't, like, being horrible people for no reason. Like, they really believed that the island people were evil. And so I just feel like, yes, they, like, declared war, but they thought that it was for good reason. Like, I just feel like the Uchihas also thought it was for good. I just feel like it's similar.
I agree, and I think the key is that Itachi knew both sides and Eren knew both sides, because they were the ones that ultimately made the final decision. Like, you're right about Reiner, and you're also right about, like, Itachi's dad, right? Like, they both had their reasons for feeling like they were correct. But Itachi had a different perspective, and so did Eren. I think that's the difference, mostly, between them and the other characters.
I see what you're saying.